Peoria Artisan, craft beer out here in the Litchfield Tap Room, also known as Peoria Artisan, located out here in Litchfield, Arizona. The thing I like most about this place, just in talking with Matt, the brewer and owner, is every time I've been here, I've always gotten a small pub, neighborhood pub feel to it. You come in here, they got a TV, which a lot of them don't, but I really don't see a whole lot of people watching TV.
No.
And a couple times that I've been here, everybody is just BSing. They're talking about beer. They're talking about work or sports or whatever else it is, and it's just a really casual environment. And that's exactly what they want to portray.
Yeah,
a neighborhood feel to it.
Yeah, I've been here a few times too, and if you visit different breweries, you get a different feel. Some they want to be hardcore. They want people to get loud and rowdy, and that's just the environment they create, and that's cool.
Sure.
There's some they want you to kick back and eat and maybe sample a beer here or there, but there's some that all they want to do is just good beer. Make it a good, oh, I had a rough day at work, or I'm having a rough week, I need to get a beer already. Come on in, you're welcome. The person next to you will be more than happy to talk to you about whatever's going on. It's really kickback place, man. I've always enjoyed every time we've come out to.
The cool thing about the system is obviously it's a tap room, so they do have some sandwiches and cheese trays, meat trays, so you can get a little bit of bite to eat. But they pride themselves on ingredients. Their rotation for their tap handles are always going to be fresh because they're not making big batches. Yeah. So it's always going to be very fresh beer, which is very. As somebody that's going into a place, you don't want to sit there and have it sitting in the line or sitting in the keg forever. Their rotation seems like it's monthly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to still get very fresh beer no matter what.
And the fact that they're going through kegs, people are coming.
People are coming.
Yep. So I think Matt was even saying too that they were the first brewery in the West Valley. Londo and I were from the West Valley, so anytime we can get a brewery in the West Side, I'm all for it. It means I don't drive clear across town.
We love East Valley beers too.
Yep.
But we don't want to be driving having a good time.
Especially if they have good beer. We'll be there for a while.
Exactly.
So let's get into this.
Yep. So what they did just a couple weeks ago, actually, they promoted on the webpage. If you haven't followed them, get on their page and start following them. But they have a peanut butter porter, and the special thing they did about this is that they took some wood chips and soaked them in Maker Mark whiskey. And that process, the soaking process, is about a week. Yeah. Then they did it. Then what they did is during the second fermentation process, they took those chips and soaked them into the beer so that you can get some of that, the wood and the whiskey flavor to it. I haven't tried this, so from what they've described, it's very subtle, which is very encouraging for me because I don't want it to be overbearing. I still want it to be a beer, just like you just mentioned.
Yep. Yeah, and Matt was saying, that their the peanut butter porter here, they've done different variations of it. They've done an imperial version. They've done just regular peanut butter porter, but now they wanted to actually experiment with some of the bourbon wood chips. See what they got. And that's a great thing when talking with Matt is they said, what? There's a style of beer that we like, a beer that we enjoy. How can we tweak it a little bit? How can we make that a little bit better? How can we make it a little bit different? And how creative can we get? So, kudos to them for doing a peanut butter beer with some bourbon in it. I haven't tried it either too, but
with 20 years experience between Matt and Neil, I'm sure they've experimented quite a bit
and failed.
But in most cases they have their own shop. Yeah, they're definitely succeeding.
Yep. So we'll get into some of the ingredients here real quick. They use two types of hops, Hallertau and Northern Brewer. Both hop varieties are going to be more floral, little spicy, nothing extremely bitter like some of the other beers we've had are extremely hardcore bitterness, hardcore floral, hardcore citrus. You're not going to get that with these.
Not with this style of beer.
Pretty clean balance. Yeah. Also for the grain, they use two-row crystal, chocolate, and black malt. Those last two that I mentioned are specifically used if you're wanting to go for a porter or a stout dark beer. We've never done a porter or stout beer before. For those of you that are unfamiliar with it, my biggest advice is not all dark beer is bad, and not all dark beer is Guinness. There's so many different varieties that you can choose when you're doing a porter or stout, like bourbon, like peanut butter. I've seen mint, I've seen just chocolate. So you can still be pretty creative with dark beer and it not all be the same.
It changes the flavor profile no matter what you do with it.
Yep. And just a real quick lesson again for those of you that are unfamiliar with porters or stouts. The reason how the beer gets its color is all beer has grain in it. The lighter the beer, the lighter the grain that was probably used in it. So what happens is the grain, before it actually comes to the brewer, as they're roasting it, as they're malting it, some grain is malted very quickly. That's why you get a light flavor. Some grain is malted or roasted longer, and the grain becomes almost burnt,
Toasted.
dark, brown, toasted.
Nutty profiles.
Yep, and different malting levels or temperature levels that a grain gets will produce different flavors. So darker beers will tend to be, a nuttier flavor, a roasted flavor. You could even find some that are smoked to give it a really smoky flavor. So again, we're guilty of doing the IPAs, the pales, all these other ones. We've kind of forgotten about porters and stouts, but you can get really creative with it, and you can have a lot of fun with it. And it sounds like that's what Peoria Artisan did with this one here.
So what is it? You said it's 66% on the ABV?
Yep, 6% ABV and then 20 IBU. I think that goes to say what we said before is, don't let the IBU scare you. I mean, if you saw the beer and you've never had, dark beer, or you're not a fan of a dark beer, you might say, oh, that's going to be too much. That's going to be too hardcore of a flavor. I think we've done how many beer reviews now that IBU's 50, 70, 90. Those are more hardcore of a bitterness of strong flavor than.
I can tell you this the beer's not going to be. There's not going to be lack of flavor.
No.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So.
And most of the time with porters and stouts, you don't get a bitterness because they want to bring out those roasted flavors. They want to bring out all of that. So they don't want it. They don't want bitterness. They want the other flavors to come out. So, anyways.
All right. Well, we're going to give it a go.
Smell some chocolate in there. Actually, now in the second go around, I smell a lot of chocolate.
Try to get a little bit of that maker's mark.
Wow. I'm a peanut butter fan too, so first thing that popped into my head was, can I get this to taste like a Reese's peanut butter cup? That's good. I'm already jumping ahead of myself.
It's not heavy though.
No, not at all. Yeah, and I thought when Matt was talking about the bourbon wood chips and soaking it and all that, I thought that it was going to be a hardcore bourbon flavor or a hardcore. I didn't taste it. I don't think it was that strong. You can taste it, but it's not overbearing. It's not, aggressive.
Not at all. Yeah.
I think.
I really like it. I pick up on the smokiness of it. I'm trying to still. I could get the maker's mark, and it's like very faint, so it is there. Not so much the smoke of the wood, or the smoke by any means, but it is very rich. But it's not a very heavy finish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very clean on the backside of it. I enjoy it.
I think it's a good combo with the bourbon and the chocolate, and then you get a bit of that peanut butter to it. That's a really good combo.
Scale of 1 to 5. What do you want to give it?
Damn, seriously, man, that's damn good. Just gotta say that. Honestly, man, I'm gonna give it a 4 3/4, and that's a really good beer. I'm guilty of not being a porter stout fan, but damn, that's good.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it right around a 4.5 as well. I think if we were to put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in here, I'd give me a 5. I would bring a tub of ice cream into a brewery. It's kind of odd.
Just plop it up on the counter.
I'll take a beer that'll go with this.
Yeah.
4.5. I mean,
Good,
this is a really good beer. But not overbearing, very rich in flavor. I mean, you're going to pick up on a whole lot of things. And as you let it warm, it's also going to change the complexity of the flavors as well.
So sometimes, mostly for the better. Usually with those dark beers, they taste better when they've been sitting, not room temperature, but pretty close, because it starts to bring out a lot of the flavors. Like in this particular one, peanut butter, the chocolate. My big thing is if you're a chocolate lover, you got a sweet tooth, definitely the beer for you. I mean, I taste a lot of chocolate, and then some of the peanut butter on there, so I think good stuff.
Would you tap it?
Oh, I'd tap the shit out of it. And the problem is, they don't do growlers, so we might have to schmooze a little bit, but unfortunately,
not for this one, they don't.
We can't get a growler of this guy, so I don't know if we'll be able to tap it, but I'll drink until that damn thing runs out.
You'd like to go over there and out on the tap.
What would you tap?
I'd tap the shit out of this beer as well. I mean, obviously with the richness of the style of beer, it'd take a while for me to get through a whole keg, but it's something that I would love to have on hand.
Good stuff.
Anywhere.
Good job,
so get out and come and try these beers. Don't be afraid to try anything. Peoria Artisan, Litchfield Taproom / out here in Litchfield, Arizona. Don't forget your growler. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. This is Crafty Brew. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.